Myself, Dr. Neetu Devi from UPSMF, and I'm requesting all to please mute yourself.
We have Balamani ma'am who's joined us. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, madam. Good morning. Thank you so much.
Good morning. We also have Professor Lavanya. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning and hello, everyone. A very happy International Nurses Day. I am Ritu and I welcome you all today to this gathering and this meeting, which is going to be very exciting. I'm sure about that. So please, just before we start this meeting, I would just like to put some, general housekeeping sort of indicators there. So please, may I request that you keep your microphones muted. We also have a dedicated question and answer session after each section. So please type in your questions in the chat and we will invite you to ask your questions after that particular section is over. May I request that you keep your questions short because it's going to be a really very quick meeting. So, we have short sessions. So thank you so much in advance and a formal welcome to everyone. Beyond caregivers, placing nurses at the center stage of a transformative approach to nursing education, today's event is a dedication to all those aspiring to be a part of this noble profession. Today, we have an exciting series of fireside chats with our experts who will share their insights and experiences on various dimensions of Mission Niramaya. Throughout the sessions, we encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, and engage in meaningful conversations and discussions. Now, before I move any further, there are just few more people I have to admit. So we'll just take a break of about just 1 minute. Stay online, keep your microphones muted, your cameras also, switched off because so that more people can join. It does not take a load on our bandwidth. As we go along, towards the end, I'm going to request everyone to turn on your camera so that we can have a group photograph of this meeting. Yeah. So we have a lot of people joining us as we speak. We have almost 240 people who've joined us along with our speakers. So very, very warm welcome again. And before we move any further, I'm going to request my colleague Abhishek Kapoor to just play the Mission Niramaya video so all of us get acquainted with what is really being done under that and what has been done so far.
वैश्विक स्वास्थ्य सिस्टम कई चुनौतियों का सामना कर रहा है। स्वास्थ्य कर्मचारियों की कमी स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं की गुणवत्ता पर असर डाल रही है। विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन यानी WHO के अनुमानों के अनुसार दुनिया भर में लगभग 59 लाख नर्सों की कमी है, जिसमें कम और मध्यम आय वाले देशों में सबसे बड़ा अंतर है। भारत WHO द्वारा अनुशंसित 3 नर्स प्रति 1000 लोगों के दर से बहुत नीचे है, जहां केवल 1.7 नर्स प्रति 1000 लोग हैं। WHO के अनुमानों के अनुसार 2024 तक अतिरिक्त 43 लाख नर्सों की आवश्यकता है। इन चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने अक्टूबर 2022 में एक महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम मिशन निरामया का शुभारंभ किया।
और मैं कह सकता हूँ एक फील्ड ऐसा है जो व्यक्ति के जन्म लेने से लेकर के उसकी अंतिम यात्रा तक जो हमेशा ब्राइट फील्ड बना रहेगा वो है नर्सिंग का। और इस फील्ड में कार्य करने वाले खासतौर पर बालिकाओं के लिए और महिलाओं के लिए फील्ड सबसे अच्छा है। सेवा का भी है, रोजगार का भी है और स्वावलंबन का भी है।
मिशन निरामया एक महत्वाकांक्षी प्रोग्राम है जो नर्सिंग एवं पैरामेडिकल चिकित्सा शिक्षा को सुधारने और राज्य में नर्सों एवं पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ की गुणवत्ता को बेहतर बनाने के लक्ष्य के साथ शुरू किया गया है। इस कार्यक्रम का संकल्प नर्सिंग और पैरामेडिकल को प्रोत्साहन देना है, इन्हें उत्तम, फायदेमंद और संतोषजनक प्रोफेशन के रूप में बढ़ावा देने के साथ साथ युवाओं को नर्सिंग को करियर के रूप में चुनने के लिए प्रोत्साहित करना है। क्वालिटी, एक्सेसिबिलिटी, एम्पावरमेंट, इनोवेशन, इंटेग्रिटी और कोलैबोरेशन को ध्यान में रखते हुए मिशन निरामया उत्तर प्रदेश में हेल्थ केयर मानव संसाधनों को सुधार रहा है और उच्च स्तरीय नर्सिंग और पैरामेडिकल शिक्षा में एक वैश्विक हब के रूप में राज्य की पहचान बना रहा है। मिशन निरामया स्किल अपग्रेडेशन और कंटिन्यूड ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल के माध्यम से हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स को उनके करियर में उत्कृष्टता हासिल करने के लिए आवश्यक योग्यता, ज्ञान और संसाधनों से सशक्त बना रहा है। उच्च गुणवत्ता वाली शिक्षा और प्रशिक्षण व्यवस्था को सुनिश्चित करने के लिए मिशन निरामया ने रेटिंग मैकेनिज्म स्थापित किया है एवं मेंटरिंग का एक इकोसिस्टम बनाया है जिसमें मेंटर संस्थाएं अपने को सशक्त करते हुए अपनी मेंटी संस्थाओं के मानकों को सुधारने में उनका सहयोग करेगी। परीक्षा और मूल्यांकन प्रक्रिया को निष्पक्ष और समय पर सुधारने के लिए कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। साथ ही एक नई ऑनलाइन सेंट्रलाइज्ड एडमिशन प्रक्रिया लागू की जा रही है। प्रारंभिक प्रक्रिया के रूप में 200 से अधिक संस्थानों के साथ एक परामर्श बैठक आयोजित की गई थी। ये कार्यक्रम इन करियरों को मुख्य धारा में लाकर राज्य के युवाओं के लिए रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा करने में भी कार्यरत है। इस उद्देश्य से छात्रों को इस क्षेत्र में उपलब्ध अवसरों से अवगत कराने के लिए प्राइवेट, पब्लिक और केंद्रीय विद्यालयों के लिए एक सशक्त स्कूल काउंसलिंग प्रोग्राम के तहत इन करियर्स पर रोशनी डालता है। नवंबर 2022 में 300 प्रधानाध्यापकों को मास्टर ट्रेनर के रूप में प्रशिक्षित किया गया था, जिससे वे छात्रों के लिए एक प्रेरक के रूप में कार्य कर सके। जनवरी में राज्य के सभी केंद्रीय विद्यालय स्कूलों की देखरेख के लिए जिम्मेदार केंद्रीय विद्यालय स्कूलों के 3 डिवीजनों को अवसरों के बारे में जागरूक किया गया था। फरवरी में नेशनल इंडिपेंडेंट स्कूल अलायंस के प्राइवेट स्कूल के लीडर और उत्तर प्रदेश के अन्य प्राइवेट, गैर सहायता प्राप्त या स्वतंत्र स्कूल संघ इस संदेश को फैलाने के लिए मिशन निरामया में शामिल हुए। नर्सिंग और पैरामेडिक्स कैडर के 360 डिग्री सुधार के लिए मिशन निरामया का लक्ष्य है कि इनकी एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी बढ़ाई जाए और राज्य के युवाओं के लिए नए रोजगार के अवसर पैदा किए जाए। इस दिशा में एक पहल करते हुए अपने पूर्व छात्रों के डेटाबेस को विकसित करने के लिए UPSMF यानी उत्तर प्रदेश स्टेट मेडिकल फैकल्टी विभिन्न संस्थानों के साथ काम कर रहा है। एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी को बढ़ावा देने के नजरिए से UPSMF ने अन्य सरकारों के साथ संभावित सहयोग की खोज करते हुए हेल्थ एजुकेशन इंग्लैंड, NHS, UK, न्यूफाउंडलैंड और लेब्राडोर सरकार कनाडा के साथ भी चर्चा शुरू की है। मिशन निरामया एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम है जो राज्य में स्वास्थ्य सेवा, शिक्षा में क्रांति लाने या सकारात्मक बदलाव लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। हमारे लिए अपने परिवारों और अपने समुदायों के लिए एक उज्जवल भविष्य बनाने का ये एक अनमोल अवसर है। उत्तर प्रदेश में हेल्थ केयर एजुकेशन को बदलने के लिए हमारे मिशन में शामिल हो। साथ मिलकर हम सभी स्वास्थ्य सेवा में एक उज्जवल भविष्य का निर्माण कर सकते हैं।
Thank you, Aditya. So this was really exciting, was it not? Give me a quick raise of hand if you think this was exciting. Right. Let us now explore how Mission Niramaya is transforming the landscape of nursing education. I mean, you heard of all the initiatives that we did, जो हम कर रहे हैं Mission Niramaya के तहत, लेकिन ये कैसा हमारा नर्सिंग प्रोफेशन को शेप कर रहा है, इसके बारे में हम अगले कुछ सेक्शंस में बात करेंगे. So for the first conversation, raising the bar, advancing nursing education standards for a healthcare on par with global best, I would like to invite Professor Lavanya, Director and Principal of Nightingale Institute of Nursing, for a quick chat. आप लोगों ने वीडियो में देखा होगा कि हम मेंटरिंग इनिशिएटिव के बारे में हमने बात करा कि जैसे कुछ इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, 12 इंस्टीट्यूट्स फेज 1 में जो हमारे मेंटर इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, वो बाकी सारे इंस्टीट्यूट को अपने साथ आगे लेके चलेंगे, है ना. तो प्रोफेसर लावण्या नंदन जो प्रिंसिपल हैं एक नाइटिंगेल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नर्सिंग की, जो कि हमारी एक मेंटर इंस्टीट्यूट है, तो आज हम उनके साथ बात करेंगे टू फाइंड आउट what has her journey been as a mentor institute. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome very much to this call, and thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a very busy time today, but thanks nonetheless. So just going on to the first question, you are a mentor college from phase 1. How has your journey been so far? Could you highlight all the standards that you have improved and how it has helped you to reach out to those institutes to encourage them? Thank you.
Thank you, Ritu ma'am. Good morning and namaste to each one of you, and happy International Nurses Day to all the viewers connected with us today. As a mentor, I must say it's not a very easy journey. It's not a cakewalk journey, but yet it is not a difficult one, what I must say. But let me divide this into two aspects. One is before Mission Niramaya, one is after Mission Niramaya, our journeys. See, we all institutions were existing before launching of Mission Niramaya, like the curriculum by Indian Nursing Council and the UP State Medical Faculty guidelines were followed. But the thing is, when we are executing these norms of INC curriculum or UPSMF standards, we wanted one guiding force always, because only the inspections were the ideal way, the checklist and the infrastructure, any other things were assessed by the institution. But throughout the year, there were no other guiding force or the guidelines or the standards, or anywhere we go missing with some standard, we wanted someone to guide us, show us the way. So I always felt that was missing, though we were all doing good as an institution, but quality indicator measuring was missing from every institution, not only in Uttar Pradesh, I think it is throughout the country. This aspect is missing to us is where do we stand as a quality. So there came, I must say, this launch of mentorship was a boon for all the institution. I always compare this to the angel wand, it came up and touched everyone, and we started with the quality. So I always take it as we are lucky enough, we are working in Uttar Pradesh, our institution is Uttar Pradesh, which we didn't feel for a long, many more years. And today we feel fortunate to say everyone, we are working in Uttar Pradesh, our institution in Uttar Pradesh. That is one proud moment which we all feel today to talk about our state, our institution. So thankful to the UP government, UPSMF and JPAGO team to making this possible in state of Uttar Pradesh. And the journey started in this way when the application they released application for applying for mentorship. We as an institution just applied without knowing what is a mentorship. Frankly speaking, we were not knowing what is mentorship. We thought we have everything. We have all the standards. Then what is this mentorship all about? But it's always good to have a quality journey. So keeping that in my mind, I just applied without understanding what is this mentorship program. Once we applied, when they said, you want to be a mentor? We said, yes. Then that came a long list of self-assessment tool. And there comes like a real understanding, oh, this is the standards and this is against every standard. We need to have a proof document and the implementation part I have to create. So there I understood that, oh, all these years I was thinking we are doing very good, but there are a lot of gaps. So they made us to identify, the JPAGO and UPSMF executives made us to understand. After doing a self-assessment, we did a self-assessment. We stood at the level of 76 to 78%. We are not 100%. So there were gaps. There were certain missing loopholes from one standard to other standard. Then our journey started from here. The JPAGO executives, UPSMF executives, they started handholding us. They started assessing us, helping us, and guiding us that how you can fill up these gaps. They were in our organization and every mentor organization, I think, literally standing with us and guiding the whole team of faculty. And in the clinical area, community area, they were walking into every unit and making us understand how we can collaborate it better. Like we did two kind of analysis in my institution, that is fishbone analysis and Pareto analysis. There we could identify like some of the gaps, like especially the teaching process, how we are questioning students, how we are seeking answer from students in teaching learning process. Some of the pedagogy we wanted to change after doing the gap analysis. Then in the clinical area, we wanted to understand how we can make it a more effective clinical experience for the students. So there again, we did this analysis and how do we motivate students? Where is gap? We are finding it in the clinical and the community area. We could identify that the clinical nurses who are working in our affiliated hospitals, they also require the equal standard education what we are practicing. Because unless until they are not understanding these standards, they will never allow our students to practice as it is written in the documentation. So we took up a continuing nursing education for the staff nurses in our all affiliated hospitals and in also community area. Then we changed our pedagogy, teaching methodology in the clinical area and also in the teaching area. Then our peer review, reports were not complete. Like we never gave so much importance for one faculty to another faculty peer, feedback. We started working on that because one small gap can interlink, means it can really remove you from the link what you have in the quality, what I felt. For example, if a teacher who is teaching in the classroom, if she is not following the right pedagogy, that will reflect on the student understanding. That may be in terms of theoretical results and as well as in the skill performance. जब वो हॉस्पिटल में जाएंगे, उन्होंने सही समझा नहीं कि उसको सही तरीके में नहीं करेंगे, तो the purpose is not solved. So what we started doing is we started linking from one performance standard to the other performance standard. We wanted everyone to follow it, from our junior faculty to the senior faculty, clinical faculty, even our nurses, and in the community area. We wanted to bring those, interconnected understanding between hospital and the institution. Then we had one more issue when we did a gap analysis, that is our communication with our affiliated hospitals. Because we are mostly affiliated with the government hospitals, it was not easy to connect with the, in charges and other senior authorities in the hospital. But they were JPAGO executives. They went there and along with our faculty, they addressed this with the senior nurses and the ANO and CNO of the hospital. Thereafter, we had a good collaboration, good understanding, and they were very much considerate for all the changes what we wanted in the clinical area. Like every unit, what changes we wanted, they were very much considerate and cooperative. We started with the every month, meetings, started documenting it in terms of like to understand last month what changes had happened, this month what changes will happen. One-to-one student, one-to-one nurse, we started communicating in and documenting. That has proved as a really very good and successful one. So this is the journey, and after we started doing these changes, I could see the whole institution could realize that where were we before launching this mentoring and Mission Niramaya, and after going through these standards, very rigorous steps of including the quality in the every standard, there are a lot of changes. It is not like a mentor institution to say it is a proud moment, but I think every mentor institution will agree with me here. It is really not a very easy walk as such, easy journey as such. If we want to maintain those standards, sustain them, keep them in a continuity, we have to work it even harder than before. So this is a journey, Ritu ma'am. And if you want me to add on some more, I can go on adding. There's no
I know,
end to this.
but you are short on time. We would have loved to hear, because it's a great learning experience for everyone to listen to how you brought in, upgrading your own institute based on the standards, and it gave you so much more confidence. So the things that really touched me were that angel wand. Yes. I think that's a great quote to sort of have. As also when you mentioned that it's collaboration, that we're collaborating all the time, and finally it's moving you to say, hey, we are proud to be part of Uttar Pradesh and working from Uttar Pradesh. I think that's a great story there. My next question to you would be, Professor Nandan, that you've gone through this journey. So how do you think that mandates of Mission Niramaya will empower the institutes to move towards global standards and position Uttar Pradesh, which is the vision of Mission Niramaya, as the global leader in nursing and paramedic education and staffing?
Thank you, Ritu ma'am, for this question. like now every institution has received this performance standards because UPSMF has put it in its website and also to circulate to all the institutions. 81 standards from Indian Nursing Council curriculum, and it has become now 75 standards and 33 standards. Whichever we want to pick up, we can pick up and start working on at our own level as a self-assessment. It's really a very good move. When we look at the nursing curriculum given by the Indian Nursing Council, it is a competency-based curriculum which is revised in 2022. And it itself a very good one because this matches with the global standards. The theoretic and the curriculum designed is at the global standards. Now, after like Mission Niramaya, these standards were introduced. You know, this was refined. These standards were refined further because from INC curriculum, I can't take out the standards and start working. But the beauty of this complete standards being designed by the JPAGO and UPSMF is, it is so well designed that this is the standard, this is what is the document you have to prepare for that, this is the what execution you require at infrastructure level, at the clinical level, at the teaching level. So it is very clear. I can say it will, if it goes on like this, it can be a Bible or a Bhagavad Gita for the nursing fraternity in India, not only in Uttar Pradesh. Because I literally was going through every performance standard. I feel they are descriptive in itself. There's no further explanation is required. If any institution wants to work on, wants to work on their quality and standards, they can pick up this 75 standards or 33 standards and start working on without any direction at the first level. And any doubts, there are mentor institution, there is a JPAGO team, there is a UPSMF team, which really handholds you when you want to really take up this journey of quality. There's one. Then when we look at these standards, performance standards, what I feel is when we implement this 100% in the theoretical area, one is we are preparing nurses at the global level in case we really implement at that standard. For implementing this, we need a qualitative faculty because it is not possible to achieve. The curriculum itself is well designed, but to translate this into the reality, you need a faculty who are really understanding this curriculum equally well and executing it. So there's already a faculty development initiative has been taken by UPSMF. There's a trainers of training at the clinical level, but this initiative can be taken at the every institution level because this is not possible for one unit, one group to execute and get the success. If we all take up at our institution level that we take this challenge of developing our faculty skills and knowledge at par with the curriculum design and at par with the global standards, I think there's no one to stop us here to go ahead with a quality circle. What our principal secretaries are always say, quality is not a journey. It's a journey. It's not a complete like one time we can achieve it. It's a circle. So this is what I feel is we can really achieve this. The mandates and the standards given by the UPSMF and JPAGO, they are not exhaustive. There is always a scope for adding on depending on the changes what we see in the ecosystem in the country. If any emergency, if any circumstances arises, there's always a scope for adding on performance standards and to change them as per the required this, because we have seen they have changed the performance standard sequence depending on the expert's opinion, common nurse opinion, and expert like nurses who are working the clinical area based on their experience. The sequence has been changed. That is a very good move. That means these performance standards are flexible enough. They are designed based on the need of today's scenario in nursing in Uttar Pradesh. So there's always a change, like even in future, if there's any changes are required, it will be done as it is not exhaustible. One, and clinical area, that is one area we all have to pick up, because theory we all will teach, but if the skill area is not, competing with the theory what we are taught, or is not resonating the idea of what we have taught, so then it is not a complete curriculum as such. So year one skill lab, as Uttar Pradesh is going to come up with many skill labs, advanced nursing skill labs, and we ourselves have a good skill labs in our institution. We can take up this as a campaign for making students, faculty understand every skill as per the mandate given by the standard mandate given by the JAPAGO and the UPSMF team. And also we can think of something advanced clinical skills, like, because it is not very far, we will come up with virtual simulation labs, or we can talk, we are talking about genome treating, robotic treating. So there's a lot of changes will come in this next 2 to 3 years to 5 years. So we need to really get ready for this kind of skill escalation, and making our this young generation to get into this aspect of advanced artificial intelligence. So this is my suggestion. I think we all can come together as an education along with the policymakers, and we can work out our curriculum even in that direction, so that we need not wait when the changes will come, when we'll make the curriculum changes and the execution. So this can be an advanced planning, I feel. As we see that our curriculum, I said it is a competent enough, a global, it meets the global standards. When we look at the, what is that partnership done by University of Canada with Mahe Manipal for a dual learning or a dual degree. So this is a great move, because this indicates there's nothing much to change in our curriculum or our standards. So probably certain things should be added on, nothing else to change. So we are not very far from reaching out to the global standards if we work continuously on the set standards given by right now by the UPSMF and the JAPAGO team. I think we should take it as it is, start working as a team. Uttar Pradesh should work in unity. All the nursing institutions should work in unity as a team. We can achieve this.
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely bit of conversation. And the themes that I hear, I would reiterate: collaboration, communication, and like you mentioned, change is constantly evolving, and keeping in pace with that is important, which I'm sure that the team at Mission Niramaya is actually doing. So thank you very much for those words. Are there any questions? I see a hand raised from Pacific College. I'm going to unmute you. So please ask your question, and ma'am has to leave, I think, in another 2 minutes time.
Yeah, we are celebrating International Nurses Day today. Yeah.
Fine. So just a quick, I've requested you to unmute Pacific College of Nursing. Please ask your unmute. So that was a great question. I think she brought out some really important points. Now let's see what our next session is all about. And we have, for our next session, Ringside View, examining the impact of Mission Niramaya to push for policy reforms. We have Dr. Neetu Devi from UPSMF. Welcome, Dr. Neetu. And she's going to discuss the impact of Mission Niramaya on pushing for policy initiatives with Professor Balamani, who's the principal of College of Nursing, LLRM, Meerut. So welcome, Professor Balamani, and welcome, Dr. Neetu. Over to you.
Thank you, Rituji. And good morning to everyone. And I wish all a very happy International Nurses Day. And good morning to Balamani boss ma'am too. So this session will speaking about the Mission Niramaya and how it brought about the shift in policies and standards and transparencies. So Balamani ma'am, I would like to ask, how do you see Mission Niramaya pushing for policy level shift for nursing and paramedic fields? So as we know that we recently brought in more transparency in examination process and also to release the standards. And what are your views on that and their impact at grassroots levels? So this we would like to know from you, Balamani ma'am.
Good morning, man and all gathered here, all dignitaries, and thank you, Dr. Neetu, for raising a wonderful question. Because this open type or exploring questions are needed at this time to like we can open up. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible now.
Yes. Yeah. So overview of Mission Niramaya, if we see the component, the planning of component itself has to be noticed in a very keen way. So the Mission Niramaya components, if we see, like it's a mentor program, as previously Dr. Lavanya Nandan Madam was discussing about, and even rating of institute, appointment of nurses, career counseling, placement opportunities, building of digital platform, and ensuring fair examination. So the thing is, like when we see selection of components in Mission Niramaya itself will be making us understand it is a wholesome package. It is something like RCA with CAPA, root cause analysis with corrective action and preventive action, because the quality is not overnight, it will be coming, one point. And the second one is quality should start from the base. These are the basic things we can. So when quality has to start, this has to be from the attitude of the person. So that is the basic thing that Mission Niramaya has understood, that, I mean, it's been understood, and it starts from career counseling. So career counseling is the one which is really an appreciable one in Mission Niramaya component, because
Dr. Neetu, while we wait for Professor Balamani to join in, how about you telling us about your view on what is the importance of Mission Niramaya to bring about policy shifts, and what do you think needs to be done? Thanks.
Thanks, Rituji. So as we wait for Balamani ma'am to join us back, so I would like to share my points of view on this. As we all know that recently we have conducted examinations for diploma with transparency, and we have conducted in such way that we had set up the control room over here in the UPSMF office, and all institutes who have set up the CCTV and all, they have we were they were allowed to be as the exam center, and the examination process was happened in a quite transparency, and we could see the changes in that, like how it was before and what is the thing after we had controlled the control examination room over here, what was the result after that. So there was vast difference. So this will bring up lots of improvement in our nursing standards by conducting fair and transparent examinations. And regarding the policies and others which we have released in our website, that is mainly on the standards. So before also we have released one regulation that was on the standards to be maintained in the nursing institutes, which also guides regarding the how you have to set up your institutes, and that was the guidance related to the examination scheme, the nursing curriculum related, how you have to set up your infrastructure and all. That was somewhat similar with the nursing standards which we have released recently, the standards of the mentor and mentee which we are using in that. And that was the standard of 33-point scale and the 75-point scales, which Lavanya ma'am also spoke regarding. And I feel these standards will be also, yes.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry for the interrupted this one. I just joined with some other.
Yes, ma'am. Please continue, ma'am. I was just sharing about the standards policy which we have released. So yes, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Please continue.
Yeah. So this corrective action, it starts from the career counseling. It is like attracting very many people. Actually, recently our secretary sir has tweeted and given the message also. It is like the higher aspirants, or the aspirants number has to be appreciated, or it has to be welcomed in nursing. Whereas when a statistic shown that there are so many applications for medical field, as well for the nursing field, only 20,000 came. It was the statement given. So on that note, the government has taken, Mission Niramaya has taken effort on to the orientation session into the schools and colleges, where first of all, knowledge is what important to do anything. So there it's really amendable, and ensuring fair examination and building a digital platform for the transparency. All these things like mentor program, as Dr. Lavanya Nandan Madam was explaining, it's a hand holding. So hand holding is what that it is very much necessary. So everyone would think that the mentor institutes are 12 and how it is going to take up. But the thing is, hand-holding is the basic phenomena that Mission Niramaya is ensuring or facilitating. And this mentor program is not one-day program. To be very honest, like, it is anything that they are implementing. First, they are doing the pilot and knowing the strength and weakness of that SWOT analysis they will do. And after that, only this mentor process and all this Mission Niramaya is implemented. So on that point, like this policy level making is more strengthened. And as you were asking me the question, how the policy level, a policy is making a shift in the standards. Ma'am, I would like to tell you, like, any policy or any standards, if you implement, it should be a casted. Like we know child rearing practice, like, usually the child will listen to the person, either father or mother, who is telling favor for them. But the one thing that I really have to appreciate here is it is a cascade, which is flowing from the top through the proper channel to the low in a very very streamlined pattern. So I would like to mention here, like Mission Niramaya or the nursing quality is recognized, initiated, as well implemented from the highest level. Honorable Chief Minister Yogi Ji also is interested in nursing. So this makes a mandate for all the people to involve in quality improvement. Whereas he has initiated, and the next part is like our medical education department. So I was totally surprised, and even it has to be really appreciated that our principal secretary sir, Dr. Alok Kumar sir himself is initiating, implementing, and also following up. So every follow-up meeting we could see him. So here it makes us understand like how dedicated it is. That is the second point. And our special secretary, Madam Dr. Durga Madam, all these people are so interested in quality improvement. And the third main point, Madam, I have to make it very, very clear, crystal clear, that the coins have two sides. Like, the head and tail, then only everything is possible. The same way, our quality of nursing in UP is being led by the two sides of a coin. One is the policy making, another one is regulatory mechanism. Policy making and policy makers being government on one side, and on the other side, the regulatory body UPSMF is on the other side. So together, when it is there, the quality is being implemented in a very streamlined pattern. Of course, we have supporting partners. I could see sometimes, these supporting partners are great. Yeah, Madam, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
These
ma'am.
supporting people, especially development partners, Japaigo, I could see in everybody see this in WhatsApp group also. Even at 3 o'clock.
Sarika
Yeah.
Sahuji, please mute yourself.
So I could see at 3 o'clock and all, very many informations used to come. So I would think, are these people sleeping or not? Or even in dreams, they are having quality in their dreams or what? So such a dedicated 24/7. So if this is continuing like this, I'm sure this will mandate a policy shift as well, improve the quality in nursing as well paramedical education. And this is the special of UP also. I have to again note, no other governments, no other areas. State Nursing Council is in collaboration with the government. So that is the powerful thing that it is being done. You are working like both sides of coin. And coming to the standards, as we were mentioning, always when it is been a pushing phenomena, it's not easy for everyone to adapt for it. Whereas here, the standards are tailored to the needs of the persons, colleges. So this can be understood by a phenomena like 33, developing two different standards. One is 33 and one is 75. And the rest is again on to the college to select their own standard. So which is giving a freedom for the enrollee. See, the quality improvement is necessary. and it is you who can take freedom on your own choice to select either 33 or 75. So what happened? This will make the persons to have a self-assessment as well understanding and then go for it. So this gives a freedom, and enthusiastically all the people will be participating in that. And yes, of course, there are few issues which have been not issues, it's the challenges that we are facing, but constantly the challenges are being tackled, I mean, understood, tackled, and also being corrected by all these development partners and the policy makers and the regulatory bodies all together. You are having a chain of communication, so that doesn't have a loop, and so that the quality improvement is facilitated by the government and the policy is made. And next point I would like to tell you is that making of objectives. Like even if quality, you people understand that the quality is not a one-day phenomena or overnight phenomena. So as quality's the model says, system you have, structure you have strengthened by giving the infrastructure, by giving the standards, by giving the SOP, by giving the rules and regulations, and facilitating them. Recently, I think 2-3 days before, a new information came, like by order, that is understood. I mean, understanding the teaching faculty and their competency and skill. So an order came. 2 weeks clinical excellence program has to be implemented for the teaching faculty, especially in government setup. So what happened? This makes us understand how important the teaching faculty have to be skillful, and how this is being analyzed, understood, and implemented by the government. So these are the things that I would like to share from my view. And as it is a cyclic phenomena, and everyone are working for it 24/7, and hope very soon we will be achieving the goal. And this model which you have taken in your hand, working collaboratively, the policy makers, the regulatory bodies, and the supporting partners, working all collaboratively together, will become a sample or model administration for all the other states also. And wishing you a very great International Nurses Day, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your sharing your views to us. Really, it was very motivating too. And yes, of course, things need to be done together. With this can be happen when we do it together along with our partners and along with the institutes. So we all can work together to bring up our profession in a higher level in UP. So thank you so much, ma'am. Rituji, over to you.
Thank you so much, Neetuji and Professor Balamani. I think that was a great conversation. Do we have any questions? If you could raise your hands or just type in your questions, then we can unmute you. Please let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the next session. I don't think there are any questions. So for me, I think something that really stood out was the whole, the support that we have at the political level, as well as amongst the policy maker, which I think is something which no other state has given the way we have here in Uttar Pradesh. And also what she mentioned, that the regulatory authority also has been constantly working with people from the grassroots who understand the business, and really evolving the whole the standards and so on and so forth. So one of the key things that I think earlier was spoken about was which I think Balamani ma'am also said, that going to the schools is something that Mission Niramaya is doing, where we're conducting school counseling sessions, and colleges have been leading, and colleges have actually been going to the schools and taking this whole conversation on careers as nursing and paramedic. So for this section, what we are going to do is we're going to have a chat with Professor Vijaya Shanti from Community Health Nursing Department of SCPM College. And she has actually been going to schools in and around her college, talking to them about nursing as a career, paramedic as a career, and they have received quite a lot of good feedback on that. To lead this conversation forward, we have Aditya Rana from Samagra, and he has been leading the public school counseling initiative. So over to you, Aditya, and over to you, Professor Vijay Shanti.
Thank you so much, Ritu, for talking in brief about this whole counseling initiative. So first of all, I would like to thank all the institutes. You've been contributing so well, and I would like to tell or take this moment to basically tell you some details of the magnitude that this initiative has created on ground. So far over 320,000 students have been counseled through, I would say, around 2,500 sessions organized by you all in different government schools across each district of Uttar Pradesh. And just so, as Ritu said, I'd like to invite Dr. Vijay Shanti or Professor Vijay Shanti to please unmute and tell us about your experience, since you've been conducting a lot of counseling sessions in a lot of schools. So what has been your experience? How have you been driving this? And if you could please share, Professor Vijay Shanti.
Good morning, Aditya sir, Aditya Singh sir, and good morning to every one of the authorities of Mission Niramaya team and the participants. And I want to start with the with my wishes. International Nurses Day we have completed yesterday. Still, I want to wish everyone to have a happy Nurses Day. And now I will start my sharing my experiences. I'm Professor Vijay Shanti, and taking in chargeship for the doing the school career counseling program in our institute. Here, you actually this Mission Niramaya has made objectives. You know, introduction is already given by other persons. Here, our institute is made as a mentor institute for both for school career counseling and training of the other nursing and paramedical institutes also. So we were approved by the Chief Minister and our Yogi Adityanath ji to improve the nursing and paramedical systems in the Uttar Pradesh. So we received our certificate on 8th October 2022. And especially, you know that there are around 8 main objectives are there in Mission Niramaya. In that, 3 are related to the school career counseling program. First, adopt a mentor and mentee model. And second, our youth about better career prospects in nursing and paramedical sector. And third one, providing the quality placements, career counseling, making aspiring career. To reach these 3 objectives of this career counseling, this Mission Niramaya project only, the career school career counseling is going on. So to do this sessions or career counseling to the schools, the government has selected 12 mentor institutes under the Mission Niramaya, and in that we are also one of the institute. And here what we did, we made 2 teams. Actually, there are a lot of shortage at the time. There was an examination going on, so we can't able to manage it with the one team. Within the short period, 10 schools we have to cover. So to manage the situations, we have made 2 teams. Each team contains 1 nursing expert, 1 paramedical expert, and 1 person for the introduction, and 1 for the giving the inspirational speech and maintaining a supply of the refreshments and all other works like that. We made 5 to 6 teachers in a team, and we took the nursing and paramedical students also to inspire the students who are all attending that meeting. So here around we have completed 15 schools of this one government and non-government aided schools and the private schools. And their maximum number of the schools are cooperated, and we have communicated through the phone, and some of the schools given permission through phone itself to come and conduct a counseling program in institute. They welcomed voluntarily, and some of the schools actually we have to go there and taken permission by giving a proper letters, and a few schools they have not allowed first, but after showing this mentorship letter and explaining about the Mission Niramaya and what is their objectives, what is the welfare will be there for the students by attending this program. After explaining all these things, and remaining institute also allowed to participate their students in the program, and there around 2,000 students they are participated in our career counseling sessions. 9th standard, 10th standard, +1 and +2 students are allowed to participate, and there we have explained about the what are the courses available, and also in the nursing, and what is the admission criteria, and how they can enter into the profession, and what is the scope or career opportunities are there for them, and everything we explained to the students. Same like that, we explained about the paramedical courses. What are the courses available? What is the admission criteria? How they have to start their admission process, and we have explained, and we have given them the very detailed information regarding career opportunities or scope of nursing. Here we explained about what are the scope in the field of nursing education, what are the scope in the field of nursing practice, and what is the scope in the nursing research. Everything we explained, and also we explained about the government sectors. What are the job opportunities available for the people who is completing a nursing and paramedical courses? So government sector and private sector and non-government agencies, all these places there are a lot of vacancies there, and different positions and posts are available. That also we explained to them, and we explained about the salary scales for them, how much they will get in the approximately how much it is started maximum level. Everything we explain to them. That also inspired the students, and we explained about the international opportunities also to the students, and especially the inspiring students. What we did, success stories of our students who are all working in the government sector, private sector, everything we have shown the pictures, videos, and also the success stories of the paramedical students who is working in a government and private sectors. That also we have shown, and we have distributed the pamphlets of the Mission Niramaya, which it is given to the Mission Niramaya, and we explained totally about those content whichever it is given. And the paramedical courses list is not available in that. For that, we made a list on our own, and that list also given to the students to make aware by themselves. And then for the economic problem, students were faced a lot of economic problems. They said, so when we ask questions, we have the economic issues, we can't go for this profession and all. And then we encouraged them, there is no issue of facing the economic problems, because there is a availability of the scholarship facility and the educational loans, and the NGOs also, they will be providing economic support for providing the fees, or some concessions will be given into the institutes. So there are a lot of ways, and even we motivated them directly. If BSc nursing, if they cannot enter directly for 4 years, they can't spend money, means they can come through the GNM, then after earning, and they can continue their studies as a PPBSc, like that they can join like that. We motivated them, even if you have economic problem also, you can manage and come through the diploma programs. And we invited the students also to come and visit our colleges, because we motivated them. Some of the schools are more interested to come and see. Even one school came to our college and visited our paramedical department and nursing department. Even they requested to go and visit Ayurvedic also. Everywhere they visited and they went. And they are given a good feedback, and they learned a lot about the nursing courses and the future of the nursing and paramedical courses. Even at the end of the program, we supplied refreshment also to motivate the students. Even some of the schools we requested for the school health camp also, and they want to conduct their camps there. Through them, we motivated the school authorities also and students also to involve in the career counseling programs. Here students, they were very happy, and they asked a lot of questions about their doubts. And I explained, I and my team, and explained very well about what is the future of nursing. Because during the COVID pandemic, and there is a shortage of lot of shortages there. At that time, we are not able to manage there. Because of that, there is a lot of morbidity rate and mortality rate is increased. So at that time, the demand, all the people understand that demand of nursing and paramedical department. So this also we pointed out there. And also there is a demand in there is national supply and demand project for full-time equivalent registered nurses. They have did the survey and they have given a report that from the 2002-2020 period. And here there is a shortage of nurses will be there. 30 lakh means in the year of 2020, we require 30 lakh nurses, but only we had 20 lakh nurses to work. There is a shortage of 10 lakh nurses. Now by this Mission Niramaya project is predicted that there is a 18 lakh shortage of the nurses and other team members. So it means there is a demand for the healthcare delivery system in that nursing and paramedical courses. So this we strongly put in their mind that their future also will be good, and at the same time they can get a quality services training from the mentor institutes through this Mission Niramaya, because this is the only part of school career counseling is the initiation of the initiation to achieve the other objectives of the Mission Niramaya. If this adequate number of students are joined in the nursing and paramedical department only, we can achieve our required number of manpowers. So through that, we can maintain a quality care in the field of nursing care services or a healthcare delivery system. So for that, I think this school career counseling program is very important, and to motivate all the students to come and join in the profession, and then only our quality can be improved, and Uttar Pradesh government, whatever their plans and goals, it is there, and it will be achieved if in the future by initiating or implementing this all the career counseling program successfully. Then we can do it, I think so. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Thank you, Professor Vidashanti, for sharing your experience and also sharing like what the students felt when you conducted these sessions. What was the feedback of the students? So yeah, quite enriching to hear your experience, since so many students have been counseled and we have not been able to closely, listen to this feedback one-on-one on any other platform or through any other initiative. So just touching upon that, so maybe just you could also at the end touch upon our last question in the best interest
Yes,
of.
sir.
So what were the challenges that you faced, कुछ challenges के बारे में if we can hear, and how did you overcome them? So बाकी school भी, since it's a continuous initiative and the institutes are expected to, you know, keep carrying on with this initiative throughout the entire year and also make this reform sustainable. So if you could share some of the challenges that you faced and how you overcome them.
Yeah, sir. Actually, we
Motivating.
faced many challenges.
It would be
Very few
motivating
I
for
will.
other institutes.
Yeah, sir. We faced many challenges also, but so very small. I leave it. I will point out only few. And that the first challenges when first time December we this school career counseling program initiated. That is the time for examination for the students. So they have given the deadline also. Within this period you have to complete your career counseling program and upload it. So what we have to do, we don't know. Wherever we are communicating, we have exams, we can't do. Or few are accepting, then a few are not accepting. And somehow we went directly, myself and team went to counsel them and taken permission directly also. And some of them have shown our pamphlets and project permission letters, and all our institute permission letters, from government, whatever we have taken, INC permission letter, everything we have to made a file actually. Total file we made it, and we have shown. See, we are such a best institute, want to give a best thing for your student. Why you are stopping like that? We have explained very well to them. Somewhat we managed that, and that is the reason we made a 2 team. Because during the examination is going on, 10 schools we have to complete in a short period. We have to manage exams also. So because of that reason, we made 2 teams, and same day we will be going different schools. That is there. And another thing, even some schools long distance, whichever some are allotted, because we covered actually 3 districts. Gonda district, Barrage district, and Sravasti district. So that corner, Sravasti district corner, Barrage district corner, and all, it takes 2 hours to reach there. Still we managed it, and some of the schools actually they don't have adequate space also to conduct the counseling session, because they have small rooms only. What we did, we made into the batches. So number of students are many, but adequate auditorium type or a big rooms and all not available in especially the government schools. Private schools, some are they have big, and some government schools they have, and a few of the school they have small rooms only. So we divided the students into the batches. Batch we divided, and we conducted 2 sessions, 3 sessions, like that. We managed those challenges.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay Shanti. I think, yeah, these are some of the challenges that are also encountered by all the other institutes as well. So
Yes,
learning how you solve them basically also provides a pathway for other institutes. Thank you very much
so
for
much,
this
sir.
interaction.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Over to you, Ritu.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for that great conversation. A lot of learning there. And anyone who's getting into a school counseling program, would you have any questions that you would ask Professor Vijay Shanti before we move on to the other session? Any questions anybody has? I don't think there are any questions. There is a comment here. Yeah, Prabhu J, you wanted to ask a question. I'm going to unmute. Please unmute yourself and ask the question. And do keep it short.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, regarding career counseling, even I'm working on it. We have some challenges when we enter into a college or a school to take permission to do a career counseling on nursing.
Hello.
So what's your question? We can't hear your question. I think
your question is not complete, sir.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Can you repeat once, sir?
No, I think his connection is a problem. He's frozen. I think what he's trying to ask, Professor, is that when you go to the colleges, some schools, actually you have challenges. They may not want to give you permissions.
Yeah.
So, how did you overcome, which you had covered in your conversation? But if you could quickly just tell us again, like you mentioned that you had done, things like. Health checks, etc., and use that as an
Yeah,
opportunity.
ma'am. Actually, so when we went first, we have shown the letters which from the government. We received a letter from the US state medical faculty that you have to conduct career counseling program. That letter we used to show, and the list also they have given, and we used to show take a printout and show that list to them. And apart from that, also some are not accepted. Then what we did, we explained about what is the what do you mean by Mission Niramaya, what are the objectives, and why we are doing it, what is the importance in the healthcare delivery system, why this career counseling is important to. After explaining only, they used to ask different questions to us. You are coming from you are private institute, you are coming to take admission from our institute, so that's why you are coming here. So we used to tell them, see, we are not showing any of our admission papers or any other courses papers, we are not showing to you. Only we are coming to make your students to make aware about the nursing courses and paramedical courses, and what is their career opportunities or a scope is available in future, how they can secure themselves in the future, how they can secure their jobs, because with jobs only they will get their family well settled if they want to. So we are convincing in both the manner, means personally also they can settle and professionally also they can develop. So in both the manner we used to counsel them, so students may not be knowing ideas about the what is the admission criteria and all. Even we used to ask some questions to them. Sir, do you know about what is the admission criteria for paramedical courses, nursing courses? And they never tell clearly. Sorry, that's why you yourself need some information, means students may not be knowing much, so kindly permit, like this also we used to convince them actually at the end.
I think I'm hearing some great strategies there. Would you agree with me, Aditya? I mean, when she says that you actually ask them questions about what you're wanting to counsel to the principals and the other teacher. They themselves don't know, so then you correlate. So if you don't know, how will the students know? So
because we can't point out directly, but we used to tell them that is the reason we want to tell you, sir. So admission criteria we used to explain them. Even some principals, while conversation itself, they should ask a lot of questions to us. Because half an hour at least we have to go and sit with them, then only they'll give permission. Where they'll put lot of questions to us, and then we will explain, sir, how many questions you asked, the same questions, doubts, maybe students might be having it, so kindly give permission. Then we will easily counsel the students and we will make them aware about the nursing.
Right. So what do you say to it, Aditya? You've been on ground and
Amazing, amazing. I think, yeah, these are some of the, I would say, again, a lot of things like these or solutions come up when you actually go and, talk to these principals and just do not take no as an answer. So thinking of these solutions, thinking of the ways that you've just mentioned, Professor Vidyashati. So these are some of the things I think, yeah, since you interrogate and ask even the principals about, like
even
what are you.
sir, I have one suggestion also. Actually, we are a mentor institute so we are receiving the letters from the state medical faculty. You go to this institute, like that we are getting a list. But for schools, they are not communicating through any letters.
Yeah, so
That
for
will be
that,
little bit helpful for us. Which are the institute they are allotting to us? the same schools, they are sending any one circular or letter means it will be easy for us to convince. So I think instead of sitting half an hour, 45 minutes to take permission, within 5 to 10 minutes, we will complete our work. We can save our time also. It could have been implemented. This means for us, it will be very great support. So we can do more and more schools. Yes, sir.
Point noted.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Vijay Shanti, and thank you, Aditya, for the great conversation. Passion is something that is so mandatory to actually bring about the change that you wish to, that you will not take no for an answer. And that is something that's come out very clearly from this conversation. So whether it is organizing, special health checks, a camp, or it is going and actually sitting and talking to the principals and answering their questions, I think there are multiple ways that you can move around and, really reach your goals. So thank you for that conversation.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my views and experiences, ma'am.
I think it has been a very rich experience and a very rich learning for all of us, because it's important to know what people on ground are facing and how are they overcoming that, and plus the kind of response that you're getting. I think that's amazing. Thank you so much, Professor Vijay Shanti.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I would now like to welcome Dr. Geeta Parwanda, who's Principal and Dean and Faculty of Swami Vivekanand Sabharti University, Meerut, to speak on transforming nursing education, embracing cultural sensitivity to foster diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging in healthcare. I mean, what do these terms actually mean? And we're just going to be having a conversation with Dr. Geeta. A lot of people say, "Oh, we are compliant with DIEB now." But what is that diversity? What is that inclusion? What is that equity? And what is that belonging that we're trying to create? And just how important it is to have these conversations in the context of healthcare as well. So welcome, Dr. Geeta. We really look forward to this conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question to you would be, how important is cultural sensitivity in healthcare? I know you and I have been talking about it, but I think I'd like the audience also to hear your view on it, which are really very enlightening. Thanks.
Jai Hind and greetings on this auspicious occasion of International Nurses Day. And I thanks the team from UP Medical Faculty and from JAPIGO for all the sincere effort is taken to conduct this online workshop with need-based theme. So about the cultural sensitivity, I would like to say, as we know that our healthcare system cross all boundaries, serve all population, and recruit, retain all population into their workforce system. In our nursing pledge also, we always mention that we will serve the needy without differentiating caste, creed, color, or religion. So this is all that we say, that we are adopting the transcultural theory. Now, myself, multidisciplinary working environment, that is a university, we get our students from a majority of the states. Like I have students from almost 13 states of India, from Northeast, from Sikkim, and when this Pradhan Mantri Yojana was started for Jammu Kashmir students, so we had students from J&K. And when you find students from all other states other than the Uttar Pradesh, so you yourself find that cultural difference pregnancy is there. So I think without coming to the structured definition of cultural diversity, this is what we say in our nursing and in our healthcare course. We get multicultural students from with their, and sometimes, yes, we do have language, we do have their food habits changes, but I basically trained from military nursing service. So we also are trained, and we We were that time not sure also who will be our roommate. So these all small points are there which we consider on the initial level. And sometimes when the communication we find is a barrier, then the body language, how do they have the acceptance in joining the nursing course is also need to be explored as per the nursing professional. So when we reflect who we are, what we are, I think the same thing we can able to serve when we go into the nursing practice. So the word you have mentioned, diversity, that is that people from the other places. Equity, yes, I will come to the equity point because we have more male gender in our profession. And inclusion, that is again a mission of the nursing profession, that we should not neglect even the issue of the inclusiveness in while taking their theory or clinical classes.
Right.
I think I'm clear in that.
Yes, I think that was great. And one thing that you mentioned that, when you were in the military, you didn't even know who was going to be your roommate. So it tells me a story about, how we actually have a lot of personal biases and which can affect these things, So it didn't make any difference to you about, these little things. But when you're treating a patient, when you're taking care of a patient, so how do these personal biases affect the service delivery and in healthcare, if at all? So could you just talk about it and why is it important to address this?
Yeah. First thing I would say that in our nursing admission criteria, we have a very vast age group. Like we can take students from 17 years till 35 years. So this is a vast area. So in that case, sometimes you may get an elderly student. Even now, recently, INC has invited even the married girls can do nursing profession, which was not there earlier. So the personal bias come related to age, coming to the background. As now in the Uttar Pradesh, we know that we get students from rural, mostly majority of the districts are from the rural background. Then coming to the, even they have the board difference. Like many students, they say, I'm from CBSE board, I'm from ICSE board, she's from UP board. So these are the small things where the personal bias issue sometimes may come. And many a times, English language, which was qualifying subject in some of the degree course, but it is mandatory in diploma and the UG level. So many points are there, which I think, yes, it do affect in our nursing teaching profession and in the clinical practice. Even I can mention some of the case studies, the student we get from the international students. Since I told you I'm working in a university, so we had students from Bhutan, Nigeria. So, and there many things are there. They are board of studies. They are very good in English communication skills, but they don't want to write long questions because they had studied the pattern of MCQs. Their attention span is 30 minutes, where we expect our Indian student attention span for. So in that case, yes, then we have to put some flipped classroom methodology. So many a times when we know that our admission criteria is not uniform, we get all gender, we get male, female, and recently, as you know, that even transgenders were allowed to write their NEET exams. So with that, we need to have a mindset now, I feel. We should prepare ourselves that no personal bias. Yes, we have to treat them as a nursing students. They are for 4 years, and our main mission and vision is to train them as best in education, or they want to practice clinically, so they are a clinical nurse. So only these two mission we have to keep in our mind and go us with that in our teaching.
Thank you. I think that piece about the personal bias, it just stretches to something like English speaking school or a different country, and the way they have been used to giving exams versus the way we are taking exams. So I mean, one didn't imagine the biases could go to that level and you would have to address, but thank you for bringing out those points. I think it's been pretty enlightening there. You spoke about transgenders recently, and you also conducted recently a workshop on sensitizing on transgenders for your nursing students. So how was that? How did the thought come about? How was it received by the students? If you could share that with us.
Sure. This journey, I think, of transgender issue, this came in last year when our students had gone on public health posting, especially my PG students and post-basic BSc nursing students, and they are little mature students. So when they have gone and they have found where the transgender was residing, and there they happened to go, and one of them, the young girl, just approached them and she said that I feel giddy very often, I am not able to perform my normal routine, and suddenly even one of my didi is also sick. So we happen to find so those with their teacher, those girls have visited them, and they found that one of the girl was severe anemic, and they found another problem of a skin infection. So with that, they reported to us those two cases, and then we have referred them to our teaching hospital. And with that, the bond started, and I could able, not to the majority, but I could able to sensitize to very few students of mine, that also was the final year students. And after that, we just made a WhatsApp group with those people who just came forward voluntary, want to have any other hassles. It was a very initial start. And then after a few months, we got connected to Delhi Skill University. The representative had come, and even they have mentioned about what are the vocational courses for transgender they have initiated. So it really ignited me, because I was also not completely aware of that what else, health is an issue, but where else we can get connected. And recently we had some social development association, this by Mrs. Dr. Ela, when she has taken the sensitization session, and that session was very enthusiastic, motivated. Initially, we have taken our final year students from GNM, BSc, and in fact, I had some medical students also from Subharti Medical College. So session, but the way she has started with the historical background of word hijra and transgender, that was initially a very good start, because she mentioned that in Puranic Sabhyata, like when Lord Rama had to go on Banvas, or there he announced that all male and female can go back to the state and stay. But in that way, Lord Rama found there are few people who are left, and they are going with him to Banvas. And that time he came to know, oh, there is another gender, not male, not female, and he gave them the blessing. And from there, they started doing, consider them as a god. So with that, she opened up the mind layers regarding that, and slowly we could found about how Arjuna during the Pandav time also was transgender. And in Mughal time, she reflected of all the old movies that they're always Raja, this Mughal empire used to keep one transgender who will get information, because they are seems to be trustworthy. They could go to Queen's palace to get the information. And then she mentioned again about the during British time, how the legislation. So the way she started this transgender is not a new term, but since in the nursing curriculum, in other curriculum, it may not be in the form of a structured one. So then we saw the, slowly, it was full day program. And I think after 1 hour, when she started her initial session, and after 1 hour, we could see many students their question, and they were out of their all anxiety and with their emotional. So then we found that, oh, what decision was taken. Yes, maybe I'm late. I feel this session, but other students have also now asked that when we can have the next session.
Yeah, but there's nothing called late. Jab aankh khule tab subha kind of a thing. But I think, yeah, I think it's a great initiative. And just a word on Ina. I think what she's doing is something really, really great. Piece of work that she's putting out there. She runs a project called the Hijra Project, which I think if people are interested, they can go and look up and get more information on this. And it's all free of cost. So I think it would be great if a lot of colleges actually spoke about these issues and organized workshops around this subject.
Yes.
And
even she says they can directly connect it to my Facebook also. So like this now, if I could able to make 40 people sensitized, I think this 40 into 2 maybe or more than that. So at least their message could go on. That's the thing.
Absolutely. And also around the whole conversation about gender, it's just not about transgender, or it's just not about what we call third, which is again being questioned globally. But there are so many different aspects of gender identity, which I think when it comes to healthcare, people need to be very sensitive about, right? So your thoughts on that as well. And do you have any more plans to have these initiatives, not just transgender, but around workshops around diversity, about inclusion, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, actually we are, first of all, let me come into the theory, because the knowledge has to be given in the, so some value added courses we have planned to add up in a curriculum. Maybe that is a short-term courses, and if we see that it works out, if student shares interest, then even we have sought making a club sort of thing, like, because if the people are joining together, and at present maybe those club will run only at university level, but later on if you find the sensitization goes very well to the Uttar Pradesh, so I invite the other colleges, institution, if they can want to join us, so they can even also find like this type of cases. Even at present, we have planned summer internship to the Kusht Rogi. These are also under a NGO, where even the leprosy, since it is, we need to eradicate leprosy from our India, but still we find the cases, and their health is not yet approved in at what level it need to come. So like this, some small summer internship in their final year of their UG level, that also it is under plan. And yes, one thing I would like to say that we have adopted a buddy system in our institution, rather it is a best practice of our university, where every 3 students will get one local buddy. Like if I have 3 students from Bhutan, they can find their buddy, and if they find that they can open up with their any other issues, not directly with the teacher, they are easy to choose with whom they are comfortable, but this buddy they will find from the local place. So these all small practices have been adopted. Again, I'm saying we are in the initial stage. Once we found, but value added courses we have started imparting on that, and only at present we have not come with the first year students, and if the things goes on, we'll start from the initial level.
I think that's really inspiring, and I love that buddy bit that you have created, where you have a buddy system where people work collaboratively and address. And there's so much learning, isn't it, when you're learning from each other, when you're working in an inclusive environment. It's always a pleasure, and it's an ongoing process. So thank you, Dr. Geeta, for taking out time to have this conversation with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Any questions that the house may have for her? I don't think there are कोई सवाल नहीं है इस topic को लेके.
ठीक है, okay.
I don't think कोई सवाल है. Thank you so much, Dr. Geeta. We really appreciate this conversation. So So you've heard the conversations. We have institutes which are coming up to speed. We have great set of students coming out of institutes. But what about their placement? What are we going to do about their placements? How do we ensure that they meet those standards and their expectations? So in this next freewheeling chat, providing empowering placement opportunities for a future-ready nursing cadre, we have Professor R. Sri Raj Kumar, who's Associate Dean, Sharda School of Nursing Sciences and Research, Sharda University, and Abhishek Kapoor, who has been working diligently to pave way for great placement great placement opportunities. And they're going to discuss strategies for most rewarding placements for outgoing students. So over to you, Abhishek and Professor Sri Raja.
Thanks, Ritu. I believe I am audible. So.
Yes.
Good afternoon to all of you, and thanks a lot for participating on over the weekend, taking time out from your personal and professional schedule. And also would like to thank Professor Raja for joining us for this discussion. And before we start, I would like to wish everybody a happy Nursing Day. That we'll start with that. So, Professor Raja, I mean, you are part of one of the leading universities in the country. And as we all know that the education system, be it for nursing or for paramedics where we are, it's about to give a sense of employment to the students who are coming into it. So basis your experience, and it would be great if you could share, what are some of the best strategies to make nursing student career ready by the time they complete their course? Yeah, please.
First of all, it's very important for us to know, like we want to place our UP students on the global platform, and for which what we have to do and how do we prepare them in order to adapt global best practices so that our students could be placed nationally, internationally. So as I've gone through the 15 years of my teaching experience, it's very important for us to prepare the students first of all, and we have to implement an innovative teaching pedagogy. So majority of our schools, and we would be only importing, like we have just will be taking the PPTs and we'll be taking some lesson plans and we'll use the lecture and some discussion methods in order to instruct the students. How far it is showing impact in order to enhance the knowledge among the students is the greatest challenge. The first thing. So my advice is like, and we have to introduce the various innovative teaching pedagogies, like in order to avoid monotonous teaching, and we have to implement like flip class learning methods, mind mapping methods, concept mapping methods, micro teaching methods, and we have to use the case studies method. There are the various innovative teaching pedagogies. So one of the wonderful teaching innovative pedagogy which I have practiced, as we know that once the students, like especially the freshers like nursing students and BSc nursing students, once they come, and they will be facing the difficult subjects like anatomy and physiology. So I have implemented one innovative teaching pedagogy which is known as the crossover learning. So crossover learning in the sense like that the audience will be like first year students, and whereas in order to enhance the teaching skills to the senior students and MSc nursing students, PhD fourth-year students, and would be assigning some topic system-wise for them, and so that they could impart the knowledge among the fresher students about the various anatomy, structural, and the functional parts of the body, and so that they could go to the anatomy lab and they could sense and what they could touch and they could see and what are the structure of particular organ and also function of particular organ. Here, the thing like benefit of this innovative crossover learning is like here, and we are enhancing the teaching skills in the senior students as well as we are enhancing the knowledge. Here, both the groups are learning. So it's very important that, and we have to import the implement it with very innovative teaching pedagogy. And second challenge is like poor communication skills. So majority of the students who are facing like the English is one of the main barriers, like they will be facing the barrier. And first of all, we have to develop the confidence in the students that The English is not a tough subject and it would be easy subject, and we have to enhance. In Indian Nursing Council, of course, it's a very content-based curriculum which has been given by Indian Nursing Council, in which only 40 hours which has been given PDS. And whereas we have to even improve the communication skills and how they have to communicate. So now in case of a litigious nursing student, which is placed in corporate hospital like Apollo and some other hospital like Manipal and all. So without these public patients who would come from the background of the education background, and this wouldn't be any kind of barrier like communication. The third thing is like what I could feel like we have to prepare the students, like we have to give more hands-on experiences. The first thing is very important, like how many of the institutes who have got the parent hospital? Once they have the parent hospital, whether the clinical instruction and practical knowledge which is being reported properly or not, how the demonstrations are going on in the lab, as well as in the they are going to the hospital under the supervision, like whether there is a good cooperation, collaboration, coordination between the nurses in the parents hospital as well as with the teachers of the college, and so that they work together in order to enhance the competencies in teaching competencies for clinical skills among the students. That's one of the important aspects which I have to emphasize on. And the fourth thing is like, as we know, like still we are just going through. If you see the global practices, there are the there is advanced global nursing practices which are available. So as we have, as we are we updated with the advanced teaching and clinical practices which has been adopted by the global level or not. That is one of the main service. Very important, like as per my advice, it should be a faculty exchange program and student exchange program along with the foreign universities and foreign nationals, so that we could bring them and what are the best practices which has been adopted, what is the advanced clinical technology which is available, so that it can be important to our students, so that our students should be ready in order to face the global challenges, as it has been mentioned that in order to achieve our global health, our nurses as our future, in order to address the global challenges and global health problems, and we should be competent enough, as it is already been given clearly inspected by the global strategies, direction in nursing and research.
Thanks, Professor. This is very insightful. So I think some of the people were just raising hands that it is not audible. So just rephrasing what Professor Raja said, he touched upon four important aspects. One is as to have innovation in the pedagogical practices. He's talking about bringing it back to where we started in the morning with Professor Lavanya. We have to use methodologies and practices and pedagogy which will actually imbibe, make students learn the nursing and the paramedics in a way which makes them employable. And to that, he's linking it with the clinical practices students do in the hospital. So that is also very important. These are two aspects which he touched upon in terms of the learning. And the two other aspects where he, which is on the institute to work upon is with the students is about the communication skills of the students and the confidence with which they communicate what they have in their minds, as well as knowing about the advanced global nursing practices which are being coming up as a future. So for students to be abreast of what is happening across the globe. So these are the four things which you touched upon if the people could not listen. So thanks, Professor Raja, on those aspects. But as you touched upon and when you were answering, you were talking about the hospitals with which you have partnerships like Apollo. You mentioned about Manipal. So as being in a university of repute, and there are certain institutes of repute, what kind of partnership institutes and universities can have to ensure best placement for their students? If you could share your experience on that.
So one thing, sir, we have lot of demand in India as well as in the overseas, sir, first thing. And second thing is like, as it is clearly mentioned that as WHO requirement, like it is 3 nurses per 1,000 population, whereas in India current is we have 1.7 nurses per 1,000 population. There is a lot of requirements. Like we have the wonderful hospitals in Delhi NCR as well as in the Uttar Pradesh, like so that our students could be placed. The first thing, like it's very important that we must need to have good communication with the various hospitals across the Delhi NCR, across the India, first thing, as there is a requirement and we can invite. So it's nothing but basically many students are not being placed properly due to lack of awareness about various career opportunities which are available in India, as well as in the government sector and private sector. So that's the first thing. And second thing, and we have to develop the skills among the students, like how to develop the interview skills, how to develop the communication skills, how could we prepare the best of a student so that he could be placed very easily. So it's very important, every institute, as per my advice, they must need to have one career counseling center should be there in institute level, and so that the particular coordinator who takes up the responsibility to prepare the students so that he could face the interviews, the first thing. And second thing, who could communicate. We have the hospital like Manihal Hospital, Medanta Hospital,
Professor Raja, we could not.
and we have to communicate to them. We'll have to communicate to them, and we will have to address to them and bring those people to our platform so that they could come. And there are the various process of interview like online exam, offline exam, and they would be coming and assessing the demonstrative skills of the students so that they could be recruited, first thing. And second thing is, like, there are the various competitive exams like NORCET. There are the various placements all across the India. As we know, like, recently the government of India have approved 157 medical colleges, as well as we have the recruitment like AIMS, ESI central government, and we have the various recruitments in RML hospital, subjunction, various, but there are many of the people are not aware of the various job opportunities in the government sector. So it's very important that we have to make the people get aware that even we have the career opportunities even in the government sector. It has to be communicated to the people, and so that there should be a various training centers to be established in the institute level so that we could prepare our students in order to get prepared to appear for the competitive examinations so that they could be recruited. So this could be helpful for our students so that they could be our UP students, nursing students can be prepared better. They could be placed across the India in the government sector as well as in the private sector.
Thanks, Professor Raja. It's very insightful to have a career counseling center at the institute level. Maybe some of our institutes may feel that if they are not big enough to have a career counseling center, maybe they can have a profession, or maybe collectively we can have these kind of centers and partnership at the district level. Maybe one at district level can have partnership with 10 or 15 institutes which are working. Or if it is not possible, then probably we can have it on division level. I know one career counseling center identified at a division level, which is working for at least 50-60 institutes across those divisions. So that could be a good strategy to start with. And also, as Professor Raja mentioned, that having a tie-up with the hospitals actually give us the right feedback as to what kind of manpower they require for it, be it nursing or paramedics, so that they can accordingly work for that. And Professor, as you mentioned about the exams for AIMS and RML, and we see a lot of traction in the government sector as well as in the private sector in India for nursing. However, we also have seen after COVID, there's a lot of demand coming from abroad. So, and I believe that there are a lot of students from Sharda also being placed outside India. So, what are the how to make international career in nursing? How do you see that happening?
Sir, we have very good career opportunities even in abroad too, like United States of America, and we have wonderful opportunities in Canada, Germany, and we have the MNS services in United Kingdom, and even in the Middle East. Even in the Middle East also, where our nurses has got very good opportunities. Our students even have been placed in NHS in Royal Beckshire Hospital and Royal Stroke Hospital under NMS and also. So it's very important that first of all, the thing is like the candidate must be aware that, and what are the different eligibility criteria to become a nurse in USA, like as we know, like registered nurse licensing is very important, and what are the different examinations to be passed, like in English, like TOEFL and IELTS, and we have to pause the examination like NCLEX. These are all things. The first thing, sir, as I've told, like, no, all our students have been placed, and we are providing the best opportunities for the students, so that like career counseling awareness programs, which used to be organized regularly by our university, so that we used to call the representatives from various recruiters who are recruiting in the abroad, like Canada, Germany, and United Kingdom, and everyone. They used to come and they used to give the awareness program, and they used we organize some events like some brainstorming sessions, like they would be introducing that what are the requirements would be required in order to get access to work as a registered nurse in the Canada, United States of America, and United Kingdom, and students who would be having the various questions, and the questions which can be clarified, and it would be one of the best platform for the students to choose. Even like there are the certain trainings which will be given in India itself, like last year we have organized like the career opportunities in Germany, so for which the German, in order to learn the German language, is very mandatory in order to get access into that country. Like even the German language training which will be given for the in India itself, like student, once he goes over there, and he would be prepared well about how to face that culture, and how to adapt that practices and everything which will be trained over here. So we have to organize this type of career orientation training events, by inviting the various recruiters into the institute level, so that they could they could help to enhance the knowledge. And one more thing is very important, that and we must need to have amalgamation of national and global platforms. That's very important. Like as we know that recently that the Manipal University of Academy Higher Education, who have done some MOU with Brunswick University in Canada in order to have the dual nursing program. That is one of the best landmark for India, so that we could also implement in Uttar Pradesh, that like we will prepare our students so that we can have that internship exchange programs. So once the students go over there, and once there will be dual degree, and who would be very easy to eligible for the students to work even in the abroad country.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, if you can replicate it, and I would like to share as an insight, Professor Raja, that we are, as you would know, that interacting with NHS UK, and I mean, since till yesterday also we got some information as to they are in touch with us, and they have dropped in a mail, and we'll be responding back to that. So these are the actually very insightful thing in terms of having to make students aware of the international career opportunity and the pathways. How can they move forward on for each respective country if they want to move forward. So that's very important for them. So thanks a lot, Professor Raja, for sharing your insights on that. I'd like to stop here and maybe take any questions if for Professor Raja is there from the group. You may raise your hand and you can ask a question.
Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you, Professor Raja. That is a great, insightful conversation, and a lot of things that our institutes here can learn from and emulate as well. And for us as Mission Niramaya to take back to our learning tables, which I'm sure Abhishek is already doing. So thank you, Abhishek, once again, and thank you, Professor Raja, once again. We move on to the last session, which actually was supposed to be with Dr. Alok Kumar, Secretary, UPSMF, where he was going to share his thoughts on understanding the relevance of Mission Niramaya in shaping the future of nursing as a profession. Unfortunately, he's been called off for an urgent meeting at the DGME level. So I'm going to request Dr. Neetu Singh to read out his message for the gathering today.
Thank you, Rituji. Yes, our Secretary, Dr. Alok Kumar sir, could not come up for this workshop due to the urgent meeting called up. But sir have shared his message with me to share with you all. So I'll just read out the message which sir have sent for all of us. So here is the message. So, nurses are integral to the patient care continuum with a vital role in healthcare delivery. They contribute a patient care, safety, and overall well-being. So nurses have a significant impact on healthcare in improving patients' outcome, promoting preventive care, and providing holistic care. Additionally, nursing has social and economic implications, including job creation, economic growth beside the economic burden of inefficient healthcare. So mandates of Mission Niramaya aim to enhance the quality of nursing education in the state so that improved quality of nursing education will directly translate into improved patient care, better health outcomes, and overall healthcare system effectiveness. So it is important to have collaboration between nursing colleges, healthcare institutes, and various stakeholders to collectively work towards achieving the goals of Mission Niramaya. I'm happy to hear the kind of cohesive work being undertaken currently, and I have no doubt that we will place Uttar Pradesh on the global map. This will pave way for newer and more rewarding vistas opening up for our students. So I request this continued active participation and engagement from the institutes and to support and contribute to the success of Mission Niramaya in improving nursing education and ultimately transforming healthcare delivery in the state. So let us encourage more to join us in this movement. So this is the message from Dr. Alok, Secretary UPSMF, and I really thank all the institutes, our partners, like for making this success, the workshop, and also thank Dr. Alok for giving us message. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rituji.
Thank you, Neetaji. May I request everybody before we come to the closing of this workshop to just switch on your camera so that we can take a picture, please. Happy to announce that our second volume of the newsletter Uttar will go out next week. So please take this email address down, and if you haven't written to us to subscribe to the newsletter, please drop in an email. It's Mission Niramaya at upsmfac.org. So do send us your email ID where you would like us to send the newsletter. And sorry. So I'm going to repeat the email ID again, Mission Niramaya at upsmfac.org. Write into us, let us know if you want us to send you the newsletter, what is that email address, and also please requesting all of you to use this email ID also to share workshops that are happening, anything news, that you would like us to put in the newsletter. We would be happy to put that into the newsletter. There is a whole dedicated section to campus news. So do send us information, do send us, student testimonials, do send us, winning stories and so on and so forth. It's going to just inspire the others to do even more. So thank you so much for that.
Ritu, would you want to add about the nursing information promotion group which you are having? The WhatsApp group also?
Yes.
Dr. Neet, yeah, so that group, WhatsApp group.
Yeah, there is a WhatsApp group as well.
We can share this so that if anybody, sorry to interrupt you, like we can share the email address. So if anybody missed out, we can just circulate a letter on this, mentioning the email and what is the purpose.
Yeah. And also what we can do is there is a WhatsApp group as well that we have created. So if you are still not into, added to the WhatsApp group, please let us know, write into Dr. Neetu, and we will add you to that WhatsApp group as well. And the WhatsApp group is just to, again, share the news, share what you're doing in your institute so that we can keep up the collaborative spirit of Mission Niramaya. So thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate. Have a great weekend, and once again, very happy International Nurses Day. Thank you.